Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez. Thank you so much, Lieutenant Governor, for giving me your time today. It's been a heartbreaking couple of weeks for Florida. You're still recovering from Hurricane Helene. Now with Milton on the way, does Florida have what it needs in terms of resources?
Yeah, as you said, it's really been a difficult 2 weeks. The governor and I have been working around the clock, making sure that we prepared for Hurricane Helene, then the recovery process, which has been tedious, and then, of course, now preparing for Milton, which has the potential to be catastrophic and life-altering. What we've seen as we've been bracing for this storm and preparing for this storm is not only are we going to have to contend with storm surge and perhaps in excess of 15 feet, but we've got catastrophic winds, rain, and so all of these things have made this storm particularly concerning, which is why we continue to encourage people, if you have not evacuated, the time is running out. That window is narrowing. You only have a couple of hours before the state starts to begin to feel the effects of this hurricane. So we want to encourage people that have not evacuated to please do so now this morning.
And Lieutenant Governor, I know the mayor of Tampa saying if you don't get out, you will die. Do you agree with that sentiment?
Well, our main concern really, of course, is to make sure that people understand the risk, which is significant and can be life altering. But also we want them to stay calm as they're making their preparations and executing their plans. So yes, indeed, this is a serious storm. Right now, it's wobbling between a category 4 and 5. But what we've seen is any storm can be life threatening. Any storm can cause fatalities. And that is our number one priority, preservation of life. So we want people to take this risk very seriously because we are seeing the impacts, and we are going to see some significant storm surge, which can indeed be deadly.
Yeah, Milton's going to pack a punch, and we know with that comes the potential for even more bridges, highways, roads to be washed away. How are crews ready and planning to get to those communities potentially isolated in the days to come?
Absolutely. We've staged search and rescue teams. Of course, law enforcement personnel will be on the ready, but there will come a point in time later today when the storm approaches, when it's getting closer, that no law enforcement officer, no fire rescue can go out into the storm to rescue you, which is why we've encouraged evacuation off and on throughout the entirety of this past weekend and leading into this week. So we want to make sure that people understand that there is going to be a time period whereby those search and rescue folks, they won't be able to get to you. They will get to you as quickly as the storm passes, and it's safe to do so. We've seen them work through the wee hours of the morning during Helene, and we know that they're dedicated to trying to help those that are undergoing a difficult circumstance. But again, evacuate now if you haven't already. The time to do so is this morning.
Lieutenant Governor, how difficult is it to distribute those kinds of essential resources to such a huge swath of your state in such a quick amount of time?
Well, Governor DeSantis has really done just a phenomenal job over the last couple of years, truly, of dealing with these hurricanes, understanding best practices, making sure we're staging personnel and assets in strategic locations throughout the state. And you're right, it is a large swath. 51 counties were included in our executive order. And so we have a big portion of the state that will have some sort of tropical storm, hurricane watch, hurricane warning, and then, of course, the area that will be directly impacted by Milton. But we've mobilized the National Guard. We have linesmen that are ready to begin that difficult work of power restoration, again, as quickly as the storm passes and it's safe to do so. But we've really done just a phenomenal job of making sure we're prepared as best as we can be. And then, of course, we call on people to do their part as well to help us making those disaster preparedness plans for your family and your loved ones. That's critical as well.
Well, Florida Lieutenant Governor Jeanette Nunez, I know you have a million things on your plate today, so thank you for giving me a few minutes of your time. We're thinking about you and your state today.
Of course, Markie. Thank you.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.